as I said at the opening dinner, you can't say that you don't know how to do it anymore. You can't. And it's up to you now. And for the next 12 months, I will beat, kick, push, whatever I have to do to get you across the goal line. And and some of the, not some, a lot of the stuff that I will do will be unpalatable to you. Unpalatable. And that's a nice word for it, unpalatable. There's a word, whatever the word that transcends unpalatable. How do you say unpalatable in Korean? Oh,
unnecessary.
Oh, okay. Well, it's that and more. But I do what works. You know, you'll be surprised. How can this be the best fucking practices? You'll ask yourself. You know, for those of you that have consulted with or work for big IBMs of this world, etc., Citibanks, whatever. You know, we had a best of practices. I went to a best of practice manager course, and shit, nobody talked to me that way. Nobody did this and nobody did that. And that's true. That's true. But that's not, you know, you're not cloistered in the bubble wrap of a big company when you go out there. I mean, and you're there to make shit happen and create as much wealth as humanly possible, honestly, morally, ethically, legally, as you can. And so you'll step on toes. You just will. Categorically, you'll step on toes. But the stuff works. It absolutely works. There's no question about it. And to the extent that Chris and Tony were kind enough to share words with us about, you know, the first major step, major hurdle is getting your board and professionals, your accountants and lawyers on board. And they've done that. You've been given some benchmarks vis-a-vis timelines. You know, how long it took them to do this, how long it took them to do that, etc. And the weekly reports will give you a lot of guidance. You'll get an email by tomorrow or the next day about your weekly report. Weekly reports are due midnight, your time midnight, wherever you are. If you're in Germany, it's 1 hour before us. If you're in California from here, you're 8 hours behind us. If you're in Hong Kong, you're 7 or 8 hours, depending on the time schedule ahead of us. But it's what?
Sunday?
No. They're due midnight Sunday. In other words, 1 minute before Monday starts. Midnight Sunday. Okay. And it's for the previous week. And I normally respond, except for when I'm giving seminars, I normally respond within 36 hours to your weekly report with comments. The comments will always be from me, never be from anybody else. And all in email format, nothing else but email. I won't read them because I want to be able to write. I don't want to have to hit the PDF, and I just want to be able to, you know, open it, write within, and I write big red font between the sentences of your report. And in some reports, you know, if I scan down, not scan, if I read and there's nothing to really say, and I say keep pushing, you're on the right path. I mean, that's all I need to say. That's all I will say. But most people, I'll say significantly more than that. And again, the reports are, what did I do this week? First section. Second section, what I plan on doing or my goals for next week. Third section, challenges, problems, and questions from the prior week. And you answer questions from the prior week. Although I will respond to emergencies, and the first couple of times you think it's an emergency, and I'll get back to you, and it won't be. It won't be an emergency, you know. And I'll comment, and I'll be fairly succinct and fairly crass about my comments. And just like my British, very English director and actor who commented on his weekly report to me, he says, going through this week's reports made me realize, I'm paraphrasing here, what a vagina I am. I don't normally use that word. I use the cunt, but it will be apparent when you talk about time wasted and you talk about the calls and how did these calls relate to your overall goals. Very similar to the exercise we did a couple of days ago. It also talks about your goals and your affirmations. So the meaty, salient things that we've covered in the seminar will be part of the report. If in week 2 what you accomplish does not correlate with what you said you were going to accomplish vis-a-vis your goals for week 2 from week 1, then something is not right. And I'm here to tell you, hardly anybody in this room will have what you accomplished in week 2 relate back to what you said you were going to accomplish in week 1 for week 2. Because nobody's ever held you accountable. So you just flap your lips and put shit down and that's how you run through your life. You just flap your lips and put shit down and nobody said, no, but what the fuck? What, are you crazy? What the fuck? Like I told, if we were in combat and war, we'd all be dead with these guys. We'd all be dead. Okay? And the reports work. And then once a month, we have the conference call, which is normally by Zoom. And you'll see all your 22 little ugly faces across there. And I find it not amusing. But I mean, to see all the little faces. And I normally start in the left-hand corner. So some of you won't call in first. Because you don't want to start. And it's so fucking obvious to me. I mean, you think I was born yesterday? Some of the people will call 5 or 10 or 12 minutes into the call. They're hoping a bunch of other people have called in. So they're across the top, and I normally go from left to right. And then I go left to right, left to right, left to right. And some people, when they'll be number 3 on the call, all of a sudden they'll disappear. They'll disappear and then they'll reappear back down here. They'll reappear down here, and I'll go, and then some come up with some bullshit. And by the way, mute your mic, because if you don't mute your mic unless you're talking to me, it fucks up the sound for everybody else. So mute your mic in the beginning. And then what's fun for me is when I get in early, and let's say 5-10 minutes before, some of you guys will already be on the call. And the bullshit that they talk it's something to behold. You're telling each other this and that, and I'm just, what the fuck? Then when you get on the call, the tone of the conversation all changes. And normally one of you will take control. Ostensibly the most experienced of you will talk, and some of you will be calling from iPhone. Some of you will be calling from these various places. And I structure the calls, not, I think I might have mentioned this. Half of you live on this side of the world, half of you live on this side of the world. So 1 month it'll be 3 in the morning in Europe, 4 in the morning in Europe. And 1 month, the next month it'll be 3 or 4 morning in Asia or whatever. So it's not always in the middle of the night. So I change, I flip back and forth. And the calls last 2-3 hours. I think the longest call we've had is 3 hours and 15 minutes. Because we go through each one. What do you want to talk about? How do I help you? You had some challenges. What do you think about this? And it's very important that you listen to, David's bullshit about, Lex Luthor's bullshit, Gory's bullshit, Gypsy's bullshit, because you'll see you're not the only one. Now, I didn't structure these fucking calls so you feel good about yourself, because, Rich and Rance aren't the only 2 guys fucking things up, But you'll see that you're not the only one stepping on his dick, stepping on your dick, and that part of that's cathartic. But you also learn, okay, well, Michael seems like he's a fairly sophisticated guy, and he didn't do that right or whatever, and so it's very validating. that you see. And when you make progress, and even though you may not have made progress, you hear that Gory made progress, and it works. They work very, very well. And I don't miss a month, even though I'm on the road, and I don't miss a month of the weekly reports, even if I'm on the road. I'm not Dutch or English where I go on holiday and I don't take calls. That's bullshit. So I'm always contactable vis-a-vis, and I'm always accepting or following up and reading and commenting on the weekly reports. They're an integral part of the system. They work very, very well, and we've got a lot of success with them. If you miss 3, either calls and or monthly reports, Zoom call and 2 reports, or any combination of 3, finito. Now, you got a funeral to go to. You're going to be on a plane. Okay, you're meeting with a banker. You email, don't text me. You email Thelma and say, I'm on a plane between Bolivia and wherever. I can't, I might not be able to make it to, but that's fine. That's fine. But if you got this, if there's no reason, and the report and or you don't participate in the weekly call, then you're out of the program. I throw you out. And I know you all look, oh, well, that never happened to me. Okay. This could be the very first group that it never happens. This could. Okay. There's always the possibility, Lex. It's not the probability, but it's possible. And I hope from my lips to Allah's ears that happens. But it's not likely. It's not likely. But it's a really important thing, guys. And and I'm going to just say it one more time before I close. You're going to get a lot of fucking material. I mean, a lot of material. And what will happen is one of you, let's just say Adam, figures out the system or what they think is they're going through the materials. And he'll email Rick, and he'll tell Rick, and Rick will tell Steve, and then Steve will tell Nicholas, and then they'll know that you know how to get through the shit. So then all of a sudden they'll be face fucking you. Well, where did you find this? Where did you find that? Where did you find that template? Because some of you that actually go through the material will figure it out where it is. So then you can tell them, oh, it's 27 minutes into the DVD or CD or whatever it is. It's here, it's there. Okay. I'm not promoting that, but that's what happens. That's what happens. That's what happens. And by the way, what did we name them on for the picture?
Pencil necks.
Pardon? Pencil necks. We name, it's big fucking hitters, and then there's the wannabes, and this group is called pencil necks because we have some purported lifters or health fucking things, and people that are wearing suits that are too tight for them. See that all that means to me is that you didn't get a newer suit, or you got fat, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Have you shown them all your pictures? Are you before and after?
No.
Okay. Yeah. What do the Koreans think of those pictures?
What pictures?
The pictures of before and after.
Oh yeah, I never showed them.
Oh God, I can see. Okay. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.